Hi everyone, welcome. This is the part 3 of building the portfolio website series. My name is Nisar, and in this video we're gonna build the about me section and the get in touch section. So in the last video we did the my work section and the client sections. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna start in the HTML. By the way, I'll link the starter files for this video down in the video description so that you can follow along. So I'll type in a comment here. I'll say about me, and then I'm gonna use the section HTML element like we did for the previous sections, and then I'm gonna use a row so that everything stays in the center of the viewport, like so that things don't stretch and they're like not into the edges. This just makes things easier to read. I've explained this several times in this series before. So we're gonna have an h2, and this will say about me. So yep, and we're gonna want to make the bigger, and the next thing that we're gonna have is a div with two divs. So I'm gonna use Emmet here, so I just typed in div and then asterisk and then 2. So we've got the two divs, and then I'm gonna use the p tag. So type in p and press tab, and I'm gonna take the contents from here, and I just pressed Alt Z or Option Z on Mac so that we have word wrap enabled in VS Code. Like by default, it goes out of the viewport. So yeah. Next up, we're gonna have a button here. So I'm gonna create a link with the class of button, and for now it isn't gonna point anywhere, and the text is gonna say my resume, and the other thing that we're gonna have is an image, and for the image we're gonna use this image. So this is located inside of the images directory like all of the other images, and here for the alt text I'm gonna put the name. So this is yeah, and we actually want this text to come later, and I'm gonna give this a class of like about, and then inside of our CSS I'll create a new section. So I'll start off by pasting this comment here. I'm gonna update this to about me, and then here I'm gonna say about. Before we apply any styles, let's see how it looks in the browser by default. So this is how it looks. So what we want is to have the image on one side and the text contents and the button on the other side. So for that we can use display flex, and now they are appearing side by side. Now let's add a max width to the image. So yeah, let's do that. So what I'm gonna do is give these two div classes as well. So here I'm gonna say about image, and for this one I'm gonna say about and then dash text. So the about image div is gonna have a max width of 650 pixels. Let's see how this looks. So you see, like, the max width of the container that contains this image is 650 pixels. That ends here and the image is overflowing. So what I'm gonna do is come up here to where we have the base tiles. So what I'm gonna say is that select all the images globally and set their max width to 100%. So this is gonna take 100% of whatever the parent's width is. So yeah, all the images by default, because of this, are gonna have 100% maximum width of their parent. And the other thing that I want to do is I'm gonna set object width contain. So this makes sure that the aspect ratio of the images is preserved by default. Like, they are not stretching if we are like applying a higher width that is not in accordance to their aspect ratio. So it's like a nice reset that I like to do. So this is how it looks now. Now what's happening is that since the container has like a max width, so it is not only taking as much width as, like, it's only taking the available space. Now the text contents are stretching. So we're gonna fix that. So I'll change this to width. This doesn't work because we are like using flex here. So what I'm gonna do is say flex 0 fix it 650 pixels. So this means that we don't want to grow. If there is like room to grow, we don't want it to shrink. We always want it to take the 650 pixels of width of the parent, and this is how it looks. Now let's apply some spacing like we do here. So I'm gonna use at the top we have variables for all of the gutter. So I think gutter large is what we need here. So I can come here and say gap. So gap applies spacing between different flex items. So currently there is none, so we're gonna set that to gutter large, and yep, looks good. I think we can even go even higher. So gutter huge looks good, and let's apply some spacing between the button and the text. So to do that, I'm gonna select about dash text. I'm gonna put a dot in up front because it's a class selector, and I'm gonna say P, and I'm gonna apply a margin bottom of 4, and I'm gonna go with XX small, that is 20 pixels. This is too little, so let's go with this. Yep, it looks good. Now let's center this text vertically with this image. So to do that, I'm gonna use align items, and I'm gonna set it to center, and now it's centered. Now let's add some spacing. So currently the line that we have beneath all of the H2s is pushed into the image. So what I'm gonna do is I'll say that margin top, and let's go with gutter medium, that is 60 pixels. And yeah, I think it looks good. Now let's quickly move on to the next section, which is get in touch or contact. So for that, we're gonna come here, make a comment here, and the comment will say get in touch or contact. Or so we're gonna use the second element as usual, and then have a row inside of it and an h2 that will say get in touch. So and then a paragraph. So I'm just gonna copy this from here, I'll paste it here, and then finally we're gonna have a button. So the button is gonna be a mail to link, and you can put your email address here. So what I'm gonna do is use like u@example.com, which doesn't exist, it's just for illustration purposes. So you can put your own email here. So and yeah, so let's head back to the browser, and this is how it looks. So what we want to do here is apply some spacing, and actually we don't need the mail to here. So yeah, let's apply the spacing and make sure, so by default, like the text is taking as like all the available space, like it's spanning the entire width, like 1180 pixels, and it is not a good thing to have your lines go this long. So this makes it harder to read the text. So it's usually good to have it like we have it here, like not too many words. I think it's like 50 to 70 characters, but I don't remember the exact number, so we're gonna set the max width here by judgment. So what I'm gonna do is wrap these inside of a div, and I'm gonna give this div a class of let's go with get in touch, or we could even say contact. So let's go with contact, and I'm gonna come here to the CSS. So I'll say contact here, and then I'm gonna select it here, and then I'll say max width. Let's go with 700 pixels. 700 pixels. Let's maybe go with 650. So 650. Maybe 670. Yep, it looks good. Now let's apply some padding around the paragraph. So I'm gonna select the paragraph inside of the contact div, and I'll say margin, and let's use 30 pixels both at the top and bottom. And so yep, I think it looks good. So just to stay consistent, we could use the same spacing as we do here. So let's do that. So we had a margin top of gutter medium here. So what I'm gonna do is say that var dash dash gutter medium and then 0. So this is gonna, so this means like this is the shorthand for margin top, right, bottom, and left. So this applies margin to all sides in a single go. So this, like the first value is going to be applied to the top, and then for the left and right it is going to be 0, and for the bottom it is going to be gutter x small. So the third value is for the bottom, the middle one is for left and right, and the first one is for the top. So yeah, this is looking good. And another thing that I noticed is that here the text is a lot more readable, and that is because of the line height, and we don't have any line height set here yet. So I'm gonna set it now. So I'll come here to the body selector and I'll say line height, and I'm gonna say 1.7, like 170%, and it looks good. Another thing that I'm gonna do is so here we use 1.8 rem as the font size, so I'm gonna bring that here. So I'll say font size and font size body, and this is gonna be 1.8 rem, and now we can reference that newly created variable here. So fs body, and things stay as they are. So yep, so here we're like using a different font family, and here I'm using like just for the text as well. I think it looks better, but one thing that I would like to do is bump the font size of the body a bit more. Yeah, I think it looks good now. So let's move on to the footer. So for the footer, I'm gonna use the HTML footer element. So footer here, and then I'm gonna use the footer element, and inside of it we're gonna have the social links and a paragraph. We're not gonna put the stars widget here, so we're gonna have a div, and inside of it we're gonna have 1 2 3 4 social links. So we can use Emmet here. So a, and then inside of that we want the image tag, and we want 4 of these. So yeah, here we've got 4 links. So I'm gonna leave the links empty for now. Like you could use your own social profiles here. So I'm just like correcting the formatting now. So image, now let's let's provide the source for this images. So first off we have the Twitter logo, so images / twitter.svg, and here I'm gonna say Twitter, and here so Twitter, GitHub, CodePen, and then link. So GitHub, CodePen, and finally we have LinkedIn. And let's see how it looks. So currently the icons are too big. They're like taking the like the all the available space. So what I'm gonna do is wrap these inside of a row first so that everything is like aligned. So, and I'm gonna apply this a class of footer social, and then we're gonna have a paragraph with a link inside of it. So let's do that. So I'll use P and then this, and then this link is gonna point to my personal site. So and the link to my personal site is nisar.dev, and here I'm gonna put the text nisar. So, and this is gonna be the HTML character entity for copy, and let's see how it looks. Yep, this is how it looks, and this paragraph should be inside of the row container. So I'm gonna select it and press Alt and Up key, Alt or Option key on a Mac, and this will move that up. So like I could use the Option or Alt key to move the lines of code up or down. So it's a nice little VS Code shortcut. So this is how it looks now. Now let's style this. So here I'm gonna create a new section in the CSS. I'll say footer, and here social links. I'm gonna let's first change their height and width, so like of the social icons. So I'm gonna say social links, select all the images inside of the social links div and set their height to let's go with maybe 40 pixels. For some reason it is not getting applied. So we actually applied the class of footer social and not social links. So I'm gonna swap this with footer social, and now it should work as expected. Yeah, and it did. Now let's add some spacing between these. So for that, what we can do is I can say footer social, and then select all of the links within footer social, and apart from the last child or last of like apart from the last link, apply this selector to every link that is part of the footer social. So here I'll say margin right, and let's go with XX small, which is 20 pixels, and yeah, I think it looks good. Here I think we're using even less, so yeah, got our small. So yeah, here we are also using 2 RAMs, so it's fine. Now let's select the footer and apply this spacing. So here we have like this padding at the top. So I'll say margin top, or we could have used padding top as well. It doesn't matter. So let's do more, and gutter large 80 pixels. Yep, it looks good. And for the bottom, let's go with small. So I'm gonna use the shorthand here, so I'll say small, gutter small. And yeah, it looks good. Now let's center these. So for that, what we can do, since these are links, and here we also want the text align to be center, so you can say text align center. And yeah, here we go. Now let's add some spacing between these social links and the paragraph. And for that, we can come here and say margin bottom, and let's try using the large spacing here. So maybe large is a bit too much, so let's go with medium. Oh, for some reason the medium didn't work. Why is that? Yep, it works. Maybe medium is a bit more as well, so let's use small here. Why small isn't working? What is going on? So gutter. Yeah, it looks good. So we're done with the basic styling for all of the sections. So yeah, so I think that's fine for this video. So in the next video, we're gonna work on making the site responsive, like look good on various screen sizes. Of course, it looks terrible at the moment for smaller screens, so we need to make adjustments for that. And then we are also gonna like apply the hover and focus state styles to the different buttons and links that we have. So I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Thanks for your time. Make sure that you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. This will help other people find this video. And yeah, and another thing, I wanted to do this video like on Sunday, but since I am on vacation, I had time, so I did this today. So yeah.